Hello everyone, just a quick announcement before we let you listen to this New Year episode. We recorded this a few days before Christmas because we've both been away for for this festive time. So just consider that we listened to a few things between when we're recording it to releasing it today. There's been a few updates in terms of what MFL is looking to do over the next 6 to 12 months. Obviously appreciate that we didn't have this knowledge at the time, but nonetheless, hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year's. Enjoy this episode. Cheers.
Hello and a bright and shiny Happy New Year from the Wendercast. I'm Calvinator.
And I'm Jimbo.
Ushering in the first race of the Metaverse Football League and the brand spanking new year. It's a time for resolutions, reflections and of course some Metaverse football magic. Remember, while we're here to unwrap the latest updates and goals, this podcast is like a New Year's resolution. No financial advice, just pure football joy. So kick back, relax, and let's kick off the Metaverse Football festivities for a spectacular new year. Jimbo, what will we do this episode?
Well, first of all, mate, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024.
Year.
But yes, so today's episode, we thought, first of all, we want to produce some content for New Year's. So right, as it does fall on a Monday as well. And second of all, we thought, let's jump on the bandwagon of New Year's resolutions. But let's talk about MFL New Year's resolutions and maybe what we think are some of our own personal resolutions for MFL that we'd like to do personally, but also something that we're maybe hoping, come across for MFL this year as well. So I think it quite nicely leads on from one of the questions we had in our Christmas episode, which was, what's your MFL resolution for 2024? So I think it quite nicely links into our previous episode. So yes. We've each come to this with a few resolutions and we're going to talk to each other about them. And maybe you out there listening have your own resolutions for MFL and your personal MFL, career, we'll call it. Career? Yeah, career as well. If so, feel free to share them with us. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah, exactly. So no updates this episode. We're just going to ramble a little bit about resolutions. Probably I can start and then you'll say a resolution.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll discuss it and probably we'll share a couple of those. So let me kick off with my first resolution. And that is be more consistent with keeping up the MFL club social media. So I used to be, well, right now I also have the podcast to make and I also have other things in life. So I'm not always the most consistent with this and I'd like to be at least for one club. So probably Casablanca Corsairs to be a bit more consistent and just always report on their score. It's a bit like a normal football club, they would always report also if it's bad news about that. So Ajax yesterday, well I should say recently when this comes out, lost to an amateur club from the 4th tier. And even they had to upload a video showcasing the highlights and sent out a tweet saying that they lost to like an amateur club. So it's like a Diamond League team losing against Iron League pretty much. That's so awful. I want to do the same. I think it's nice if you have followers and you always consistently report on that to be like a professional football club, professional Metaverse football club.
Yeah, I really like that one. And that's something that I've not got down as one of my resolutions, but I think I'd like to do as well. Because I've fallen by the wayside, as the phrase goes, when it comes to my social media uploadings with the Wyverns. But I think sometimes it can be tough if you're getting beaten every week or every match day. It's quite a lot of energy to put yourself through. Let me just quickly make a template or make a graphic for we've just been smacked 4-0 by someone. It can get a bit much, right? But no, I think it's
exactly
a great one. I'm going to go down a slightly different route. And I've mentioned this one on previous episodes, and I'm sure you'll agree this might be one of yours too. But I would like to meet someone in person from MFL, whether that be from England or from wherever. I would love to sit down have a beer, have a chat with just another MFL user just in this country. I'm hoping it will be within the UK, and I'm sure I can get that going. I have to band together all the English or the United Kingdom guys. Even if, probably the closest off my head that I know well is probably Bosco. I mean, so maybe I go visit Bosco in his bar for a beer or some food or something, have a little chat. I think that would be so cool to do.
Yeah, I would love to do the same. So it's also one of my resolutions to maybe even surrounding Euro, right? Euro 2024.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like meet up somewhere and watch some matches together. It would be really cool. So yeah, I'm not based in the UK. I am Dutch, but I'm also not based in the Netherlands. I'm actually Central Europe in Poland. I'm based there. So if anyone listening is also living close, or like Berlin is very close for me, actually, 2 hours by train. So maybe some German listeners or some other Central European location. That could also be an option. So yeah, let's make this happen. Let's see who has the first meetup. MFL meetup, MFL in person, MFL live would be great.
And also, that's not. I think that's a resolution that can be for everyone as well, not just us, but also if you know some people. Let's just take the big continent of North America as an example. We have a lot of American users in MFL. It's got to be a couple of you that live within a couple of hours of each other. If so, have a little chat, make it happen. We want to see it. Post a picture. We want to see those interactions, and I'm sure the team would love to see that as well.
My second one. So this is a bit more about the game. I said do more testing, be a bit more serious with tactics and testing and match preparation in general. I think I've given up a little bit on that because engine kept changing and we have new formations. But if that is like crystallizes out a bit more, if it's a bit more stable, I want to get a bit more serious about that, and also like really looking ahead 2-3 matches, seeing which opponent I'm facing, or when I'm facing the leader. I know a fatigue coming in, to really plan this a bit more, like a couple more minutes for each lineup, or for just looking at the schedule can already save you points, I think. So just a bit more diligent with.
I get your point though about when the games and the engine keeps changing and things like that, and there's in terms of advanced tactics and other bits and pieces of mechanics that aren't built into it yet. I guess you can always do it, right? Because it's always short-term games, short-term gain. There we go, got it eventually. Yeah, short-term gain. But do you think that will become easier as more features are allowed, or harder because you've got quite a vast number of clubs? Is it fair on those poor clubs that you don't care about as much to not get as much attention?
I think in general you always test with your top tier teams, and then that's also where the most points are and where you really need to perform, or where you want to perform. And I guess step one is just based on your gut feeling, intuition, like this should kind of work, or this tweak should kind of work. And what I used to do in the past is just like keep playing matches against maybe like my own team, my second team, and then seeing how they performed, and then change some things, do 10 matches, and then gather the data and see how many goals scored, how many shots on target are converted. It can give you some indication, I guess. So even with advanced tactics, and you just have like one tactic, think this should work based on football logic, test it out, tweak a little bit, see if it gets better, and that's how we arrive at like something that's all right, that's decent for sure.
Nice. I've got an MFL orientated one here as well, and I've gone this year. I would like to see a Diamond League or the Diamond Division with all 12 teams participating in it. I want to see that happen. I want to see, and I guess I could sort of expand this out slightly, and I'd like to see a couple of the divisions having league sizes that are just slightly bigger, because at the moment we have about 9 to 10 in the iron. Let's see if we can get that out to that 11 maybe, because I think I was briefly looking at the established versus the division participants for season 0.3, and I think Gold has one of the best sort of club count to established and then participating like club ratio. I think it's like 75-80% or something along those lines. So I'd like to see some of those clubs get established more. And I guess an overarching one, which I've put down, is this. It's sort of one big resolution that I'm sort of making into lots of mini objectives to get to this resolution. Is that for those pre-season tournaments we have, I really want to see us get over 500 clubs for them.
Yeah,
I think we hit
definitely.
4. I think we had 4, 6, 7. I think for season 0.3 pre-season. Let's push it. Let's get half a century. It's half a century, half a thousand,
Didn't we already have 520 or something?
Did we? I might be wrong then. I could be wrong then. Maybe that was the caps. I don't know.
would say I actually wrote this also down in my resolutions.
I want to see
put
more
1,000
participating.
there. I'm ambitious. I put 1,000 registered.
That is ambitious. That that's sort of one where I'd like to put a bet on that. That's quite ambitious. That.
Well, if you look now, we used to have 730, right? And then doubled of stone. So it's like
Actually,
40.
I'll go one better. I want to see us with at least 500 unique club owners. We've currently got about 363. It's an extra 140 unique owners.
That's
Let's
big.
Settle
that one. Yeah.
Over 500 unique club owners. I think that's a really good one because that will mean that a lot of the things we're talking about now might, in theory, be well on their way or achieved if we have a minimum of 500 unique club owners.
Let's agree on that goal. 500.
We'll agree on that one. I like that.
Yeah, 500 unique club owners, so 500 users actively managing club.
That'd be sick.
That's a great community. That's like a theater, right? Theater of guys. Yeah, I also had that. So I said 1,000 teams. So let's do what we just said. Also for MFL, I wish to have promotion relegation, right?
Wouldn't that be dreamy?
Yeah, that would just be so nice to have that element, or just in general season 1. Like, can season 1 arrive this year? I know it's hard, and we talked with the team before. I think about that, but like it's because you need to have a couple of things in place. You need to agree on player progression. You need to do something with the points to replenish. Let's say you replace your guys.
Yeah.
So then that will be an amazing thing. Like, let's have season 1. That would be nice.
Have season 1.
Yeah.
I think if we were to have, with that being a resolution, if we have to pick any of them to sort of that we want to happen the most, it would be that one.
When season 1.
Season 1.
We can make that the hashtag.
I would love that to be 2024, but I don't think it happens in 2024 though. But I would love it to be.
Yes, yeah. No, because yeah, you need to have so many things confirmed and in place and tested.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this too hastily, don't rush it. So,
no.
But yeah, it can be a wish, can be a resolution.
I've got here a personal one for me, and I guess I can call it for both my clubs, but mainly the Wyverns. I just want to have a player who gets like top goal scorer or like best goalkeeper. I've just not had anyone. Never won that trophy yet. No? I've not won that trophy. I've won the cup and I've won my goal was this year to just win a trophy, and I've won 3. I've won 60% of the leagues that I've participated in with the Wyverns, which I think is quite a good stat. 66% actually. Just not flexing that I beat you. But yeah, I would like to win the personal. I'd like to have some of my players have the personal accolades, we'll call them.
Yeah. It's like top scorer or goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, a great one. I mean, this season I did win a top scorer, but no cup or titles, and I would happily swap with you if I.
Yeah, you'd happily swap, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, from Calva Junior Sepulveda. I love that guy also. Great striker. Yeah, I never had goalie, I think.
I think in our league, League 18, my goalkeeper was 3rd, and the 2 guys above him were 2 fatigued team goalkeepers. So I was like, damn it, if you 2 managers had actively managed your teams and rotated them, I might have got the best goalkeeper here because my Goalkeeper doesn't face 50 shots a game. He only faces about 10.
I almost also won the Golden Boot there with this Moreno. But then Duff scored many goals against one of those weaker teams. So unfortunately not. But yeah, I like it. Like having all the prizes. Let's say you have a cup and a league and a top scorer and a goalie. It would be nice. Like have all of them collected. What do I have more? Well, I have one for us maybe.
Ooh, go on. So I've got some as well.
When Durkas resolution.
Yeah, go on.
So maybe more streams for sure. More streaming. Yeah. And maybe even a bit more visual also. Like more like a video, or we have a quick stream.
I've got to do a live podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So stream a podcast. I would like to do that.
Podcast. Yeah, stream a podcast, live podcast. Or maybe even make some videos, or maybe as myself as like a Calvinator. I made before, but those videos are absolutely terrible. But it was really fun to make, though. And I think now we have so much content, like you can really say, "Oh, look, this feature got added with now player stats. Oh, we have now all this information, so you can play with them." So if I have time, I mean, it's all about time, right? Like make a bit more content for the cast, or some videos, or like a live podcast. Yeah, recording, like stream.
Yeah,
with some live questions coming in, live listener questions. That would be fun, I think.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to do a live episode or live podcast. Definitely, I would like to do a stream one. I love the streaming elements, what we've done recently. I really enjoy that. So I'm always in the back of my head trying to think of new ways and other ways that we could. Because obviously at the moment it's once every fortnight, and once a week is quite a lot. But I'm trying to think of just ways in general that we could stream more. And I guess a live podcast would be one of those. Whether that is once a month or once every 2 months, we do on a Monday where we usually release an episode. We will do a live stream of it, and that episode audio then gets published as well. But we do a live one too. I think that could be quite cool.
Yeah,
I definitely like that one. Following on the theme of our podcast, this is a bit more on the statistical side to our audio releases that we do. We currently have, I think, I'm going to guess slightly here because there are so many platforms that people can follow us on and can watch or listen to us on. I think if we take the biggest ones, which are Apple, Spotify, probably those two really. We could probably chuck in Google, but that's getting binned in mid-year. I think we've got just shy of about 50 followers. And I think this week we hit 1,000 plays, which is actually a massive milestone as well. 1,000 plays. I think we average about 50 to 70 views or listens per episode, which I think is great. I love that. I want to see if we can get a minimum of 100 followers, and I want us getting, and on the back of that, I would then like us to increase our average
place.
Average. Yeah, you could play our average listens per episode, maybe to like minimum of like 80, 90. And this will all be really good because at the end of next year, we'll get a Spotify for podcasters wrapped, so we can actually compare. And Spotify wrapped up will go yes or no if the podcast has been improving or not. One actual, I love resolution, and then as I'm talking about it, expanding on it, which is my worst trait, is expanding on points where I need to say one. But on the Spotify wrapped up for our podcast, it tells us how many users have When Dirtcast in their top 10, top 5, and top 3, and maybe even top 1, but we didn't have a top 1, Saj. Top 3 list of podcasts. I think we had a couple in top 3 or top 5. I want to be someone's top 1 podcast. Although I fear we might have to upload more than weekly on occasions to get that. Like maybe every now and then we chuck in like a midweek episode, like we've done in the past. But I would love to be someone's top 1 episode. So if anyone out there wants to do that, make a new Spotify account and just listen to only our podcast, just so we can get that stat. we'd welcome it with open arms.
Nice. Yeah, some good targets there. I totally agree. We can reach, pump up those numbers, right? That will be fun. But yeah, the community right now is just small but very tight and very passionate, and hopefully we can, in general, expand that a little bit and also add more users and add more listeners at the same time. It would be great.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy already with those numbers. That 50 to 70 people tuning in every time we do this. That's already great.
I love
a nice group. That's already enough support. We need to keep going and enjoy this.
And I guess it falls hand in hand with the growth at MFL also has an impact and plays a part in our growth as well, because ultimately word of mouth and just being vocal in Discord and Twitter is what gets us our listeners. And our potential audience will increase if MFL's does. So I'd like to think that if MFL hits, if the resolutions we give at MFL in terms of user base and unique club owners, if they hit, then we know we're probably well on our way to hitting our podcast ones as well, which will be great.
And then maybe even for the 2025 New Year resolutions, we do
bloody hell, man,
a live podcast in a show like that would be amazing.
Well, I reckon we go to Paris, see the MFL team, and we host a big one with them. Or we could even Euros. It's about Euros meetup potentially happening in the summer. If we've got a few of us there, that's not a bad place. Just take my laptop, take the microphone. It's not.
Who knows? It can go quick. Things can change quickly, definitely. So, I also think, speaking a bit about resolutions, this was not written down, but using my crystal ball, we always ask people about the future, right, and how you see it developing. But in general, I think not financial advice. But
hang on.
Yes.
Don't say not financial advice, then say financial advice afterwards. Is that what you just said?
I'm just saying I personally feel that the crypto market will have another proper recovery, mini bull run, what you call it, in 2024. That's what I think.
Well,
this will mean more. It's getting again more mainstream. It means people will have bigger budgets, probably to spend on MFL. It will mean more interest in Web3 games. Web3 gaming will be one of the sectors driving it. That's what I think. So that will also automatically make MFL bigger in terms of users and investing. Hashtag not financial advice. But
yeah, no, true. I guess this is the one episode where that disclaimer at the start really does
now it
count.
Needs to be said. Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with you there. I think that the crypto markets, inherently the last couple of months have been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Sort of we're at that pinch point, or what do you call it, where things could go one of two ways. So we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up in April, which usually after a couple of months, crypto starts to do really well. And then if the global markets are just in general performing well, and there's a risk on, culture happening, then NFT projects and things will benefit massively from that, because people are incentivized to take on risk, which obviously, that's so rare. MFL being NFT based, it is a risk financially, because numbers go up, numbers go down, right? Yeah. But I agree with you that if we see a nice financial climate in crypto, then we see a nice boost in MFL. And my linking to this was going to be regarding transactions and MFL marketplace, and this will be concentrating on the player side to it. So to date, we have, I think it's around about $440,000 spent on the marketplace. So that will be from June the 26th, 2002. That's when the market opened. I think June 26th in the evening. I remember it. I was in Norwich, and I packed a Rango. Did I pack a Rango? No, I bought a Rango.
On day one of the marketplace.
Day one. Market was only a couple of hours into its infancy.
Nice one.
Bought him then. But I would love to see. So we've had 440,000 odd in the last year and a half. I'd love to see that doubled. But I think it's quite hard to get that to be doubled because of how much transactions happened already for big players. But maybe let's just say we can add an extra $250,000 onto that to go up to, what would that be? About 700,000. I think that would be a really nice.
Yeah. I mean,
continue the trend.
The 500,000 is already a nice benchmark, like a nice milestone.
I think we'll definitely hit 500,000. But that's kind of mad to think about, because if you take 440,000, you divide it by 363 unique owners. That's, well, let's just do the maths on Google, because I'm not doing that in my head.
Well, yeah, no, it's probably says that everyone put quite a significant.
If
amount
everyone
of money,
put the equal amount in, it would be just over $1,200 each, which is quite a fair number, to be fair. It's quite big to just whack it on.
Yeah, right, that shows how much confidence there is in the project, right? That on average people put that into still like a relatively small project.
Yeah.
With like a game that's still in development, so that shows so much confidence.
Yeah.
And but it ties into what I just said. Like automatically, it will also go up and grow with the market developing. So those signs are very positive for 2024, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for MFL. I think. Have you got any more resolutions you'd like to touch on?
I think you also mentioned some that I had about this in person. We talked about it already.
Yeah.
That Diamond League being completed. Same. So I think I'm pretty finished with my resolutions. What about you?
Yeah, no, I am as well. And what I'd sort of like to sort of touch on is just to go back at what we've sort of experienced and gone through this year. Just very briefly before we close up, in terms of, I think that 2024 is going to be a great year for MFL. But if we look back at 2023, we started at the beginning of the year with the new engine. End of January, middle of February, the new engine. We've then now had 3 seasons. We've had engine V2. We've had things like penalties and corner kicks and set pieces included in the engine now. We've had formations, an extra 10 formations been added. So we're now going to have 15 formations by the end of the year, which is quite crazy. We've had clubs being able to be established. We've had trading of clubs and players, which before this year it was just selling and buying. It was no trading involved. We've had fatigue be implemented. We've had the tournaments. We've had the podcast. There's probably a few other things off my head.
We didn't have live streams before. So
no, exactly. So I think always nice. We bang on about it loads at the end of our episodes usually, but looking at how far we've come, and obviously we're forgetting one big one as well, and I'm probably forgetting more, but also just the size of the team increase as well.
Yeah.
People like Juan Carlos, Quinton, obviously Anisha, who was here for 6 months, all the great work they're doing in the expansion of the team as well. I think we've got to be patient. But I think good things come to those who wait. That's what I say.
Yes. So
cool.
Very happy, positive note for 2024.
Yes, 2024 is going to be a strong year for not only MFL, but the podcast, but the community, but everyone involved. It's a lot to be excited about and look forward to. And we wish you with us for the whole journey, because we'll be doing this time next year, and it will be, look back at our resolutions. We were so... We can either go one or two ways, can't it? Really bad or really good.
Really fun to check.
Maybe we'll clip these resolutions up, and we can listen back to us. We'll do like your classic YouTube. Someone reacts to another video. We'll just do like a little our live stream reaction to this podcast
with a very cringy thumbnail on there. We'll
like shocked faces, like yeah. No, that sounds like a good idea.
Awesome.
And I guess on that note, then we'll call it there. First podcast of 2024. Here's to many more. If you're not following us on our socials, whether that's Spotify, whether that's Twitter, or X, as it's now been called for quite a long time. Please go do so at WhenDirtCast. Go follow us, leave reviews, 5 stars, all that lovely juicy stuff. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next Monday for our second episode of 2024. See you later.
See you later.